What's up, guys? It's Peak Reacts, and today I am going to be talking about the Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 22nd at 7 o'clock on ESPN between UCF and number 16 in the nation, BYU. This should be one of the best bowl games of the bowl season, and for sure one of the best bowl games of the first couple days. This game is between two powerhouse offenses in BYU and UCF. UCF averages 44 points per game, while BYU averages 43. The difference is BYU has a pretty elite defense as well. BYU only gives up 14 points a game, while UCF gives up 31. The spread is BYU by 6.5, and the over-under is 75 points. So expecting a high-scoring game, and I would expect that as well. Now, these two teams are very good teams. We'll start with UCF. They went 6-3 on the year. In the American Conference, 5-3 in conference. Their only non-conference win was against Georgia Tech, which is a pretty good win against a fellow ACC school. Their losses came against Tulsa, 34-29, Memphis, 50-49 in a shootout, and then Cincinnati just a couple weeks ago, 36-33. So some really good losses on the schedule for UCF. Then we move over to the BYU Cougars. They're an independent, but they did go 10-1. Some of their best wins include Boise State, San Diego State, Navy. Their game against Army got postponed, but their one loss comes against the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, 22-17. That was the game that got scheduled midweek. BYU had to travel across the country just a couple days before the game and didn't have much time to prepare, and they lost 22-17 as they tried to go on a final drive. Last drive of the game, and got stopped at the 1-yard line on the last play of the game. So that was one of the games of the season, if I'm being honest here. BYU is led by Heisman candidate. He probably won't be invited to New York, but he's definitely a candidate and definitely a Heisman talent. Probably going to be a first-round pick in this upcoming NFL draft, and that's Zach Wilson. He's thrown for 3,267 yards and 30 touchdowns and only thrown 3 interceptions. His best receiver, the one he likes to go to, I believe is his roommate, Line. He has 63 receptions for 1,118 yards and 8 touchdowns. But then on the other side of the ball, you've got another prolific passer. He leads the country in passing yards, and that is lefty Dillon Gabriel. He's thrown for 3,553 yards and 30 touchdowns and only throwing 4 picks. His best receiver is Marlon Williams, 71 catches on the year, 1,039 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So these offenses are absolutely elite. And that's what you think it's going to be. It's going to be a high-scoring game. The location does favor UCF, as it is in Boca Raton, Florida, which is at FAU Stadium, which is very close to the UCF campus. Especially after what we saw from BYU when they went cross-country and lost, obviously, to Coastal Carolina earlier this month, which is just a little bit north of Boca Raton. BYU does obviously has the edge on defense, and that's led by star linebacker Isaiah Kafusi. And I think it's just going to come down to who gets more stops down the stretch in this game. So storyline to watch for the Cougars is how good their offensive line has been this year. But the performance raised some red flags against an undersized Coastal Carolina defense. That was not a game that you wanted to see from that team, especially against a smaller defensive front in Coastal Carolina. But UCF has struggled against the run this year. So this is the perfect opportunity for BYU to use their strength, and that is to control the line of scrimmage. Even though they didn't have their New Year's Six dreams fulfilled after that loss to Coastal Carolina, this is one of the more compelling matchups of the bowl season. Storyline for UCF is they obviously didn't have their best season due to compared to recent memory. The depth concerns were a big issue on defense, but it was just not a strong defense this year. They couldn't stop the run, 92nd in the nation in run defense, and they commit a lot of penalties. They committed 9 penalties a game, which is 124th in the nation, which is one of the worst. So if they don't stay disciplined and their defense doesn't tighten up, it could be a long night for them because they're going against, like I said, a top 5 quarterback in the nation. If I had to give my prediction for this game, I'm going to take BYU. I really want to go UCF because I think this offense is very explosive and very underrated, honestly. Despite having the best stats as a quarterback in the country, Dillon Gabriel is still underrated in my opinion. So I think UCF could very well keep it close, but I think it's just going to come down to who gets more stops down the stretch. and I trust BYU so much more than UCF because Isaiah Kafusi and others on that team, they are grown men. They have led a great defense all year. Even in their loss, they only gave up 22 points against an explosive Coastal Carolina offense. I expect BYU to get this win, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, though. I think they'll give up around 35 points, but I think BYU will score 45, if not more than that. So I got BYU winning in the Boca Raton Bowl. And that'll be it for this video. Comment who you think will win in the comments below. Was I right? Was I wrong? But that'll be it for this video. Peace.